It is Wednesday, and it is time for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. How are you doing on this Wednesday morning? It is August 24 as we rush through another year. Yeah, the days are actually getting shorter. We have scientific proof of it by about what? Point something, zero something of a second. But that's pretty short when you add it all up during the course of a lifetime. But I'm here this morning with you, and we have Katrina back this morning. Before I say good morning to her, let me tell you that Cassandra will be here a little bit later on. But morning, Katrina.
Morning, Colin. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be back on this side of the desk.
Yeah, how was your stint on the other side?
It was pretty good. We've got a great team in here, so it was not that difficult at all.
I always feel they do nothing in the back there, though.
Are you kidding? Bite to your tongue. Sooner or later, someone's going to adjust the light, and it's not going to be very flattering. Yeah, it was a great turn at the production desk, and hopefully I'll have a chance to do that one more time. All the feedback you can give me is necessary. Yeah, another great morning. A little bit on the rainy side. You know what my pet peeve is?
It didn't rain by me again.
It didn't rain
Something
by you,
is wrong.
But the aftermath of the rain is that I can't keep my car clean. I'm sorry. I know this sounds terribly trite, but I had it lovely, nicely detailed and polished.
Stop the press.
Yesterday.
Calamity, disaster.
I cannot.
Worse than the earthquake yesterday.
It's like driving through a monsoon. I know. What was up with that? Where did that come from?
We'll talk about that a
little bit later. Yeah. But yes, I was having a lovely snooze, and I heard the wonderful rain, and all I thought was I'm going to have to drive through.
Still not raining by me. I'm not happy.
Well, think of it this way. Less rain means less fertilization for that pesky tree that keeps bothering you.
Yeah, how come nobody's volunteered to cut down that tree yet? I mean, don't we have tree cutters? Don't we have tree cutters out there who just want to practice?
No.
I have a big tree you can come and practice on. Cut it down.
Well,
anyway.
Practice will suggest making perfect, and the one thing we do have right is our top line. So how about we get into those?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. These are just some of the stories that we'll be giving you in full detail in our main news package at the top of the hour, so we hope you join us then. The Barbados Workers Union is expecting a record turnout for next weekend's 70th annual conference. General Secretary Sir Roy Trotman says it comes at a time that even though the economic situation has eased somewhat, there are still problems in the private and public sectors. A comprehensive review of the sugar industry in Barbados has concluded that it needs more than $250 million for a realistic chance to be viable. The study was funded by the European Union and conducted by Landell Mills Limited, one of the world's leading international developing consulting firms. The Barbados Water Authority is planning major upgrades to this country's water systems. Ron Brathwaite reports later on that Minister with responsibility for water resources management, Dr. David Estwick, has announced that it will involve the installation of new water mains and the changing of over 100,000 meters. Shareholders of Liat are moving urgently to replace the airline's fleet of aircraft. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, says the decision has been taken to acquire new planes. And the Trinidad and Tobago government yesterday upgraded its limited state of emergency to a full-scale one. The move came even as opposition legislators called on the Kamla Prasad Besessar administration to reconvene Parliament to debate the issue. Those stories and more coming up in our main news package at 7 o'clock. But for right now, we find out what's making international headlines. We start with the International Herald Tribune, the global edition of the New York Times. Colin?
Yes, and the world continued to watch. In Libya, rebel fighters flooded into Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's sprawling compound in Tripoli yesterday, overwhelming what remained of its defenses and running pell-mell through the grounds. But as of this morning, Colonel Gaddafi still had not been found, and the crackle of gunfire and rumble of explosions continued across a confused and wary Libyan capital in spasms of fighting. Meanwhile, it is being said that with the rebels on the verge of ending Colonel Muammar al-Gaddafi's long reign, the character of their movement is facing its first real test, and that is, can they build a new government of unity and reconciliation, or will their own internal rivalries mean divisions in the new Libya? A survey of industrial managers released yesterday showed that growth appears to be slowing in China and Germany, raising questions about whether two of the world's most dynamic economies could continue to underpin global output and compensate for weakness in the United States and the rest of Europe. And of course, we can't leave the international scene without this story. I understand it took about 12 minutes, but Dominic Strauss-Kahn, the former IMF director in New York, on yesterday, after a judge officially ended the criminal case against him, released his first statement. The whole process of having the case dismissed took about 12 minutes, I understand. Not a long time. We get home now, and SSA joins the front page of the Nation newspaper. Sanitation workers in support of grave diggers. It was quite a scene, apparently, at the Westbury Cemetery yesterday, and it wasn't because there was a gaudy funeral. It was something else. Also in the papers, Bajans in U.S. quake unhurt. Liat and BWU still at odds. Dwayne Smith gets a recall to the West Indies team. Go Dwayne. On the back page, Pate talks, Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners will not seek to inflict any financial burden on the QEH. That's the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, when negotiations are held next week at the Martindale's Road Health Institution. And guess who was here? Oh, guess who is here? Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're having a little visit. All right, so you know what I'll be doing for the next few days? I'll be playing host. I'll be checking them out. That's on the back page of the Nation newspaper too. Improved export potential on the front page of the Advocate. That's for SMEs. Interest in local history keeps growing. Also on the back, Barbadians liking free Wi-Fi. Hey, I'm liking it too. And of course, the hockey festival is continuing. That's also on the back page of the Advocate newspaper. There, we've tried as much as possible to bring you up to date.
And the Wi-Fi conversation keeps moving apace. Hopefully we'll be taking a look at what's happening with the countdown to 11/11/11 on, as they say. I know we have our shout-outs later on in the day, but I couldn't start the morning off without saying welcome home to two Barbadians who have, as the song said, spent years abroad in the cold, and they have come home. Roger and Valerie Marshall are home for good.
Those names sound familiar.
They do sound familiar. They're familiar to me.
Yeah.
Those folk are known to me.
Oh, they're known to
They're known to me. My dad and his wife have returned home after languishing many years in the cold.
Languishing.
Well, languishing.
I bet they were living it up.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were having a ball. They were having a ball.
You really have to go back.
No. Well, I heard talk of breadfruits in season and mango coulis and who's got the flying fish. So I don't think you ever could take the Bajan out of the Bajan.
Yeah, one of them things.
One of those things. One of those things.
So what do you think about the Strauss-Kahn?
Colin, I sat behind in production yesterday with my knuckles gritted at the thought that this woman is going to fade into obscurity, and because of the millions that are being made by Mr. Strauss-Kahn's wife as a media executive in her own right, even if he never takes public office again, he will live in relative comfort. Nafisa Diallo, her story is not quite the same, and I thought to myself, this is the difficulty with the premise of rape convictions. It always goes down a moral line. You wore a short skirt and you had multiple sex partners 3 months before, therefore your rape accusation could not possibly be valid, and that's exactly what they've done. They've ripped apart her credibility based on things that I don't think have anything to do with what happened in that room, which apparently only took 7 minutes. So I'm more than a little frustrated, and I'm desperate to get to the bottom of it, though we never will hear the whole story, I don't think.
Yeah, it's fascinating because I am thinking if I've gone through a traumatic experience, as I suppose a attempted rape or rape could be, my story might be a little bit, might change a little bit as I tell it from time to time, because maybe some people react different. Some may not even remember all the details. Some may remember it at a different time. So it's fascinating. But like you said, hopefully she wouldn't fade into obscurity because her civil suit would go ahead, and maybe that might share up some things.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the civil suit, but I always think that a woman who has a legitimate accusation of rape is raped once in the attack and a second time in the criminal justice system. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we continue with our usual Wednesday edition of Morning Barbados. We have our doctor on the line, better business, and all that and more. So please don't go away.
Morning Barbados, good morning.